Hi everyone, hello and welcome to this slightly early September update. Of course, Black Shadow. Need to get this update video up and running for the channel because there's plenty going on as we're about to hit one of the busiest periods for the channel for the year. Specifically, we're talking about September and October. September is usually pretty busy. We tend to devote the channel to a lot of Resident Evil activities, especially via streams or such, which we have done for the past few years or so. I do tend to do little bits and pieces throughout the year, but I tend to do plenty of Resident Evil over on Twitch. These tend to be main evented by knife runs that I do yearly. Last year's was Code Veronica X, which I did, which was a pretty tough knife run. The general game wasn't terrible, but I knew it would largely come down to the bosses, and that's exactly what happened. Some of the bosses were just completely ridiculous. But having knife run 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, and the remake of 1, technically the next knife run in the series to do, as going sort of by developments and such, would be Resident Evil 0, which was released sort of around-ish the same time, maybe slightly before. I guess it was originally slightly before, but it's had a variety of remasters since then. However, you could also make an argument that you could look to go down to Resident Evil 4. Of course, that was the game that changed to the over shoulder and all the rest of that, and its legacy that has run throughout the series since then. I admittedly couldn't really choose between the two. Both looked very tasty for their own particular reasons. And so I figured, rather than actually me trying to make an arbitrary decision, I thought, the hell with it. I'm going to let you guys decide. So, over on Straw Poll, there is a link in the video description below. I've also hopefully put up a little handy-dandy card in the corner, which you guys should be able to click as well. I am going to let you guys vote on what knife run I will be streaming over on Twitch on September 25th and 26th. That's the Friday and Saturday. I'll talk more about dates shortly. And you've got a choice of two. We can either do the knife run for Resident Evil 0, or we can do Resident Evil 4, which is a little bit difficult because you can't actually fully knife run the game. Technically, most Resident Evils you can't actually fully knife run because there's like the end boss scripts you to actually fire a rocket launcher or something like that. Resident Evil 4 does have a couple of enemies and bosses which are unreachable in melee, and you do have to actually fire something. So I will be using the base handgun unupgraded on top of the knife. That doesn't mean I'm going to be able to blast everything, mind you. The game's going to throw me tons of ammo for weapons that I'm never going to be able to use, and that's going to really, really hurt. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys make a choice of the two. The poll is going to run for the rest of the month, and on September 1st, we'll come back and see which I will be streaming live on Twitch. Both are going to be pretty damn hard. It's going to suck either way. You've either got basically probably the hardest knife run there is to do Resident Evil, or, you know, still an incredibly difficult handgun and melee run for Resident Evil 4. Both are going to be very, very tough, so we should see how that goes. Also, speaking of Twitch, I have been updating this as well. If you go to the About section, I have updated our stream calendar, as well as our overall uploading calendar on the whole, which looks something a bit like this. I will apologise, things have been a little bit loose video upload-wise over the past couple of weeks. There's been plenty going on, and I also wasn't particularly well over the past few days or so. Croc 2 is coming. The first video that is going to be coming out later today. I actually did get a little bit of recording done for that a few days ago, and I do intend to do probably more recording of that after this stream, after this update video, I should say, as well. So I'm going to try and get back to the dailies, Monday to Saturdays for GTA 4, and alternating with RTK and Croc in between. Here's the stream dates for you, by the way, folks. So we'll obviously do this alongside with... How clever can I be here? Yeah, look at that. Aren't I intelligent? Oh, no, that's not... It's a good idea, Shadow. You might be able to make it work. Hold on. So, we're going to touch upon the Fridays first, and I'll get to the Sundays afterwards. So, starting off with this Friday, the 20th of August, all streams will be starting at 5 PM, unless I dictate otherwise. The knife run streams are actually meant to be 4 p.m., not 5. Ignore that. That's a 4, everyone. Anyways, so we're starting off this Friday with our return to the wonderful randomizer of Resident Evil Remake 1. Is a game and game mode that we've returned to a few times over the years. Always entertaining, always great fun, a lot of enjoyment with a lot of folks on the channel. It still amazes me whenever I play the original remake. How well suited the game actually turned out to be for a randomizer, and we've had some amazing runs over time. So we're going to be looking to crack on with that on the 28th. I am sort of expecting that we're going to need a second day on the seed, so I have also booked the 29th as well as a backup date should it be required. I will be doing a brand new seed. I know a couple of people have asked me about the Get Good seed, as it was named. But I kind of want to do just a totally fresh, brand new seed for the stream. So it's possible that one may be just consigned into the annals of history. I've not decided yet. We'll see. On September the 4th, I'm actually making a return back to the original Resident Evil 3. Now, this is kind of a bit of a funny one, because I've kind of wanted to delve quickly back into the original Resident Evil 3, obviously with the remake having come out, a few months or so ago. And trying to look at the both of them, how they compare, and doing the original is not a bad way of looking to do that. I have put this down as a casual run because I was sort of thinking about maybe potential steps I could throw onto the run, but to be honest, I couldn't really think of any that I kind of haven't already done. Having knife run the goddamn game. So it might well just be like a bit of a casual run and comparing it a bit and to Resident Evil 3 Remake. But if anyone can think of a clever step that I could perhaps run for the stream beforehand, then I might well look to do that on the day. But I couldn't think of one that I thought was any good, really. Moving on to the 11th, which is going to be, for the first time I've ever played it, and another game to tick off the will beat and complete every single goddamn Resident Evil game that was ever made list, is Resident Evil Survivor 2, Code Veronica. We made a return to Survivor 1 a few weeks ago, doing a hang-on only run, which is a bit of a one-shot. I just kind of fancied blasting through it. I've never played its sequel, however, which, as you can suggest, is based off of the events for Code Veronica. It's not a particularly well-regarded game. Survivor gets a bit of stick sometimes, I think is sometimes warranted, but sometimes not. There were some bright spots. Code Veronica, Survivor, is regarded as one of the worst games of the series, and, it's hard to dispute that, but it might actually turn out to be a bit more interesting than I thought. We will not need more than one stream on this, I can assure you. But it should be good to do that, and there aren't many playthroughs of the game around. It's pretty rare in that respect, but I have got one version working, so that should be good. Friday the 18th. I've been asked about this a few times, but I've never quite got onto it. We'll be heading on to the original Resident Evil, and we shall be embarking upon Barry's mod. This is a modification variant of the original, which was made not too long ago, but long ago enough, which takes you through the events of the original game, but in the footsteps of Barry, rather than Chris or Jill. There are some changes to some sequencing and some plot and other little modifications I'm aware here and there, though I have never played it. So we'll be spending ourselves a stream on that. I expect that will only take one stream. I don't expect it to take two. I've played for Resident Evil 1 enough, and unless it throws just complete and utter curveballs, then, we'll see how we go. And then we get to, the 25th and 26th, which will be dedicated the weekend to our Resident Evil knife runs. Now, it's possible it might take 3 days. I don't know which one I'm going to be doing. I don't know necessarily how long it's going to take. I have put these to slightly earlier start times of 4 p.m. instead of 5 because we're going to need the extra hour. But I have prepared the Sunday just in case I'm going to need that to finish off whichever run I do, because it could be goddamn hard. Really, really goddamn hard. Getting on to, I'll get to this in a second. Getting on to the Sundays, we have one more stream I'm going to be doing for Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, which I've been doing over the past couple of Sundays or so, which I've been quite enjoying, even though the stream we did last Sunday was kind of frustrating. We just had a horrendous run of luck and form. It was pretty damn brutal. But then I'm sure it will please many people to see, finally, after about a 6-month hiatus, the return of the Resident Evil Outbreak Raffles. We come back in full force for 3 weeks. I have got this as a backup for the knife run. Should the knife run get completed, I don't know if I'm going to be doing the Outbreak Raffle on this week or not. I don't know yet. It kind of depends how I feel a bit, but if I'm feeling alright, I might do one more. We shall see how we go. And then a little sneak peek for October, which is horror month for the channel, where it's kind of a similar sort of idea, but instead of mainly a Resident Evil focus, we then spread out to other horror genres. I've got some ideas what I'm going to be doing for the Sunday streams, which I tend to kind of keep more multiplayer and kind of more accessible to various folks. The Friday stuff tends to be mainly single-player stuff. I am going to finally, after years of being, I wouldn't say nagged, but suggested by a variety of people, making my first proper steps into the Castlevania series. It still does surprise some people to know that I've never played a Castlevania game properly, even though, of course, it's a series that's been extending for years and years and has, some amazingly well-regarded titles in the series. One of which in particular is called Symphony of the Night. Possibly the best Castlevania game out there, that some people would say. Some people would dispute and say perhaps it could be this game or that game, but this game tends to be at least in the top 3, if not the top 5, of pretty much everyone's list of any Castlevania game made ever. It is well regarded as one of the, if not the best, 2D version of the series. Of course, they've been doing 3D variants of the game with Laws of Shadow, or whatever the hell it's called, over the years or so since. But I'm going to be embarking upon that to kick off Horror Month on the October the 2nd. I suspect that's going to take a couple of streams, so I'll be continuing that the following Friday or so. But a little sneak peek for what's to come on October, which should be all kinds of awesome. I'll update this as best as I can, as well as when is required for the countdown time, which is to help people kind of track timings. Of course, this is all UK time, so 5 p.m. UK time is about midday EST, so you'll need to make adjustments as and when required. So yeah, that's basically the main of it. As I've mentioned, of course, I'll be getting on with the actual general uploading schedule as best as we can. I already have a bucket ton of videos to upload and get processed for uploading, which is going to be entertaining. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to be doing in regards to these streams. Like, these will pretty much most, if not all, be going up onto the YouTube. But I don't know when I'm going to be uploading them. It's possible I'm going to hang on to these and find a spot maybe like in October to upload those. It's also possible what I might do is GTA 4, we've not got long left in regards to the main game being complete. So maybe they'll, like, when the main game is finished, there'll be a spot for me to just kind of lay off uploading that for a couple of days and use it just to upload a load of stream videos. I might just wait until October. I've not decided yet. It's a pretty full schedule, and I don't like uploading more than 2 vids a day, really. That's plenty of content as it is, and then I start having issues in regards to notifications not appearing for folks, and that's something I want to kind of avoid where possible. So I'll work it out as I go. One more thing I want to make a mention of before I end the update video. This is not a paid plug, I can assure you, but it's something that I do want to get out there because it's something that I'm kind of looking forward to getting on with and doing. Is these guys here I made a mention of in the previous update video I did. The Infinite Hours Syndicate. It's basically a collection of folks that deal with podcasts mainly for a whole variety of stuff, as well as other bits and pieces on the side. Now, I did put a tweet up not too long ago where I announced that I am going to be getting involved with the podcast that they're doing. In particular, the first one that I was going to be probably getting involved with was on October the 4th. These, I believe, are streamed live over on Twitch, 7 p.m. EST, that is midnight UK time. That was going to be discussing about the Silent Hill series and its franchise and how much we all enjoyed those slot machines. But it looks like, imagine you getting involved in one before that, and that is going to be on September the 15th is the plan. Again, the same time, which is going to be discussing the Resident Evil live action movies. Not the CG ones, the ones with, you know, the 6 movies, which kind of started off as a bit of a homage to Resident Evil, and then just completely went off the rails. And I'm very looking forward to delving into these. I'm going to need to watch some of these movies back, I reckon, and make sure I do a bit of research beforehand, because it's a fascinating journey, actually. Even though the first movie came out in, like, 2001, the story of the Resident Evil film starts all the way back in 1997, like about 6 months after the original Resident Evil came out. You know, like the original Resident Evil. And it's a fascinating journey that even going from there to obviously to 2001 when the first Resident Evil film came out, and then obviously charting it across the way and the decisions that they took. And not everyone was a big fan of them, but it is what it is. Assuming that does happen on the time, I will make a confirmation of that for you guys. And if anyone wants to come along and watch me stumbling over my words on a podcast, you're more than welcome to do so. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much all of it. So as always, if you want to get in contact with me on the channel, ask me anything, bits and pieces that I may have missed, because there's always bits and pieces I tend to miss talking about on these updates. You can contact me, of course, via the Twitter sphere at BlackShadow993. You can use the comment section below, which assumably I will get the notification telling me that you've commented, but I don't seem to always, which really goddamn frustrates me. We, of course, have some cheap shilling forms of the Patreon for the channel at patreon.com/blackshadow993. Any and all donations via there are all greatly appreciated. Everything goes back into the channel and helps keep me able to keep this running at a fairly spick enough rate. And of course, we also have the Discord server as well. There's a link of that as well in the video description below, which is the best way to keep in contact with myself as well as many of affiliates and folks on the channel, either with goddamn memes or all sorts of talking about folks that I know that are delving into their own recording, which is pretty fun and cool. Folks that are interested into the Outbreak stuff and wish to get involved, I of course did. I'm up here upload a video, an online setup guide to get you straight from the basics all the way to playing the game live with HDD and all sorts of fun stuff and mods and whatever else. One of the better videos I ever put together this, and I might need to look at it myself because I need to make sure that my version works correctly. And of course, as always, as is contractually obligated. Yep, here we go. What gems have we got today? If I could spell it. I kind of don't want to spell it. That way I don't have to look at these. I used 8 facial hair, but then it grew on me. Yikes. A woman is on a trial for beating her husband to death with his guitar collection. Judge says, first offender? She says, no, first a Gibson, then offender. That hurts. That goddamn hurts. Ouch. So thanks for watching, everyone. As I say, later tonight we will get ourselves up the video for Croc 2, and then we should be back to reasonably standard uploads for stuff. I will need to get some GTA 4 recorded tomorrow. Like, I've got a lot to do channel-wise over the rest of this week. It's gonna be busy as all hell. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then.